Welcome back to the episode 2 of PSVR2 Upcoming Games Weekly, your fast, focused rundown of everything latest happening in the world of PlayStation VR2. The show has 3 parts. First is PSVR2 Showcase, a look at some of the promising PlayStation VR2 games currently in the development, then a rapid-fire wrap-up of all the PlayStation VR2 news from the past 7 days, and finally a look at every new PSVR2 release coming next week. No fluff, no filler, just the PSVR2 info you actually need. If you enjoyed the show, hit like and subscribe, it helps the channel stay relevant and grow, and I super appreciate it. We starting from the showcase, let's go! FlatOut for VR Total Insanity. This one is being worked on by FlatOut VR Spark, a new initiative from FlatOut VR Studios that teams up with modders to help bring full games into virtual reality. FlatOut VR was originally announced as just FlatOut VR. And I must say, I lost my shit during the announcement, I was so happy. And not too long ago we found out it's actually the 4th entry getting the VR treatment, FlatOut 4 Total Insanity. There's not a ton of footage out there, outside of the early teaser and some extra gameplay from few months back, showing cockpit view, racing, the usual chaos you expect from FlatOut. The flat version of the game launched with mixed reviews. It's sitting at 62 on Metacritic from critics, with users giving it more generous 7.4 on average. But FlatOut 4, it had very tough job. It had to pick up the pieces after the absolute disaster that was FlatOut 3, which basically torched the franchise. People agreed that the 4 was a big step in the right direction, definitely better, definitely more FlatOut-y, but it never quite reached the legendary heights of FlatOut 1 and 2. Maybe it was just too little too late. But now, in 2026, the game is about to get a fresh shot at life, reborn in VR thanks to FlatOut VR, and this might be what this game needed to rekindle that awesome FlatOut 1 and 2 feeling. A VR treatment to make it shine. Out of sight VR, this one pulls you straight into a chilling nightmare, but with a really clever twist. You not seeing the world through the main character eyes, you seeing it through the eyes of her teddy bear. That teddy bear is literally the only comfort she has. Your job is to guide Sophie, the main character, through a sinister mansion and help her avoid the horrors lurking in the shadows. And the shadows are watching. Every step feels tense, but it never relies on violence. Instead, it's all stealth, strategy and atmosphere. And let me say this, I've got this one on PC and I absolutely love it. It kind of went under the radar when it came out on PC VR, and I think a lot of people just didn't realize what they were missing. Because this isn't just another VR horror game, this is one of the better VR titles you can play right now, and it fits easily in my top 10 VR releases of this year. That mix of non-violent stealth, emotional storytelling, and that innovative second-person perspective, where you physically looking at the character you guiding, feels like it was made specifically for virtual reality. It's unique, it's immersive, and it sticks with you long after you take your headset off. Next up, we've got Virtual Hunter, a game that has been officially announced for PSVR2, but we're still waiting for the release date. This one released on PC in January this year, and it's sitting at mostly positive reviews, so let's hope the PSVR2 version lands just as well. Virtual Hunter is all about delivering a true hunting experience of a lifetime. You get dropped into this huge open world wilderness filled with wildlife, from majestic red deer to the elusive European hare, wild boar, fallow deer, all roaming freely across a massive hunting ground. Before every hunt, you choose your weapons, pack your essential gear, set the time of the day, and then step out onto the wild. You can climb hunting towers, track prints, or just follow your instincts. Since the game generates a fresh spawn of animals each time, every hunt plays differently and each outing feels like a new challenge. The weapon handling is a big highlight. The game uses stabilization system that lets you line up surprisingly accurate long-range shots. Clean hits drop animal faster. Saves you from the long tracking jobs and make the whole hunt feel incredibly satisfying. Each animal species has its own behaviors and senses. They can see you, hear you, smell you. So you need to approach carefully, especially if you're hunting big trophy animals. Use the right weapon and ammo, and you score better rewards with full integrity. One of the good features of this game is their taxidermy and trophy lodge system. After a successful hunt, you can mount your animals anywhere you want, wall mounts, table mounts, full body mounts, and choose from multiple poses. If you want your biggest red deer right over the fireplace, then just go for it. And yes, the game supports up to 6 players co-op as well, so you can hike, plan, track and hunt together, then meet back at the lodge to show off your trophies and share the stories behind them. Another game now, and it's Titan Isles. This is something from the developers you probably know very well, the creators of the classic Wildlands and Wildlands 2. And their next big project is Titan Isles, and this one looks like a massive step up in scale, mobility and action. Titan Isles is an action-adventure game built around fast movement, improvisation and precision under pressure. You're not just running around, you're mastering 4 completely different exosuits, each with its own movement style, weapons and abilities, so each feels much different to play. And you can swap suits between missions to experiment with new ways to move, fight and approach challenges. At the core of the game are the Titans, huge world-shaping creatures that dominate entire battlefields. Each one is basically a boss encounter built around reading attacks, staying mobile, finding openings and striking back. Defeating them unlocks new upgrades and reveals more about why those giants have awakened. You can play the whole thing solo or jump into the drop-in drop-out co-op with up to 4 players. The missions, enemies and rewards scale up dynamically depending on your squad size, so it's always balanced whenever you're alone or with friends. The world itself is a big part of the adventure. Titan Isles throws you across floating ruins, jungle canopies, molten caverns, frozen peaks and storm-torn cliffs. Each biome gives you new traversal challenges and hidden rewards to hunt for. Titan Isles also includes competitive racing. You can test your exosuits skills in time trial minigames and compete for leaderboard domination. And now let's move on to another segment of this video, which is PSVR2 rapid fire news, all the stories from the week. Epic Roller Coasters dropped a teaser for their next DLC, and it's the Smurfs. You can grab the base game for free on the PlayStation Store right now. RoboQuest VR just launched on PlayStation VR2 and players are loving it. Developers are already working on smooth 90 frames per second update, and don't forget, co-op mode is coming soon as well. Even Inside VR releases on 5th of February 2025, fully rebuilt for virtual reality. This isn't just a simple port, the whole game being reworked. The PlayStation 5 closed beta has officially wrapped for the Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024. The team is doing final polishing for the 8th December launch with free PSVR2 update in 2026. PS Plus Premium removals, the last 2 native PSVR2 titles on PS Plus Premium, Tales from Galaxy's Edge and Arcade Paradise VR, leave in December. Pulse VR drops next week, and the developers say free PSVR2 demo should land around the same time. Hitman's new elusive target is Slim Shady. Yep, you got basically hired by Eminem to eliminate Slim Shady. Goes live 1st of December. More new PSVR2 titles was announced, but they shovelly wary. BMX City Run VR, Sniper Warrior Elite VR and Fishing Simulator 2026 VR. Puzzling Places added the replay tool, automatically recording and timing your build as a smooth time-lapse. Zero Caliber has entered its third round of certification at Sony. If all goes well, we're looking at an early December release. Gorn 2 dropped the Thanksgiving update, adding new weapons and new new game mode and more carnage, and it's free. Ascent Quest developers released new alpha footage showing off the merchant system. Still early, so still a lot might change, but this game looking very promising. It's been made for the high-end VR, PSVR and PSVR2, and this is your MMO online RPG in VR. The developers of Blade and Sorcery reassured the players on their Discord, and they saying Blade and Sorcery is still coming to PSVR2. No date yet, but it's on its way. It all gonna happen in due time, so stay tuned to the channel for all the update. Sony filed a new patent application for controllers that use liquid-filled channels to simulate different tactile sensation depending on what you're touching in the game. Walkabout Mini Golf added chess to the game, and now you can play full match of chess between rounds of Mini Golf if you want it. Sony knocked down 100 off PlayStation VR2 for Black Friday, bringing it down to $399, the lowest price this headset has ever been. Okay, and finally, let's have a look at next week releases. Releasing on 25th of November is Shadowgate VR Mines of Mythrock, a full VR reimagining of the iconic 1997 adventure game. For the first time in the series' 35-year history, you're going to step inside the world of Cal Torlin physically, exploring the dwarven halls of Mythrock in proper virtual reality. You move through the ancient underground chambers, trapped hallways, and huge caverns, solving classic Shadowgate style puzzles, decoding magical symbols, disarming traps, and figuring out tricky riddles that fans will instantly recognize. Combat is all about wielding your elemental wand and shield, letting you burn enemies, block attacks, and interact with environment. And yes, you can even get a full dwarven minecart rides, so get ready for some classic VR chaos as you blast enemies while speeding through the tunnels, and I'm talking here switchback style. You are being joined by Odin the Raven, your snarky companion who points out secrets, gives hints, and makes sarcastic comments along the way. The game includes 4 difficulty levels, full comfort options, including arachnophobia toggle, and you can collect gold to customize your wand, shield, and even dress Odin in different hats and skins. Also releasing on 25th of November is Pulse VR, launching as a hybrid title, so you can play both flat and in full PlayStation VR2 mode. This one is more of an atmospheric experience than a traditional game. Think of it like walking through a giant eerie art gallery made of endless swimming pools and empty echoing rooms. There's no story, no characters, no UI, no music, just you, the architecture and the sound design. There are a couple of simple mazes and moments where your navigation gets tested, but mostly you are just there, wandering through the liminal spaces that constantly shift and change as you move deeper. The game leans heavily into the unsettling feeling of getting lost, the dark and tight spaces. Nothing ever jumps at you, there are no monsters chasing you, but the atmosphere alone can feel oppressive in a slow burn psychological way. The sound is the star here. Every room has different echoes, footsteps, and water effects that make the world feel strangely real. Walking in water slows you down, the acoustics change depending on the size of the room, and each chapter introduced its own twist or theme. You get 6 unique chapters, each around 1 to 30 minutes long, all inspired by liminal spaces, found footage, and the classic backrooms pool aesthetics. If you enjoy exploring weird, empty landscapes that messes with your senses, Pulse VR is the one you want to pick up on 25th as well. And that's it for today. Thanks for watching. If you like what you're seeing, then please press a like because it does help the channel a lot. And if you're new to the channel and are not subscribed, then subscribe. It's always better when it's more of us. And that's it. Bye 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 bye.